Hello. This is Antje from Byte Shuffle. Thank you for always watching our videos. This time, I've put together an overview of how to approach the Sneak Show matchup when playing Doomsday, including gameplay strategies and sideboard considerations. I'm not very experienced with this archetype yet, so if you notice anything, please let me know in the comments. There's also a link to the pile breakdown video in the description, so feel free to check it out. Here is the deck list we will be using this time. Everything except the lands looks fine, but I have a feeling I'll never hit black mana, so I'll mulligan. Since I have no lands, I'll mulligan. I'll put Personal Tutor and Street Wraith on the bottom. The Surveil effect sends it to the graveyard. It's likely that my opponent is on Sneak Show. The Surveil effect leaves it on top of the library. I'll counter it with Daze. I'll counter it with Force of Will. I'm unsure whether to play around Daze, but since my opponent likely has their combo pieces in hand, I'm going all in. From here, I'll generate more mana for the combo. Since my opponent doesn't have Daze, if they still have a counterspell in hand, it's likely Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm. Since their deck doesn't run removal, I'll place Thassa's Oracle as the third card in my pile and go for the combo. As a backup in case they have Pyroblast or Consign to Memory in the main deck, I'll also include Jace, Wielder of Mysteries in my pile. Since I want to cast Jace, Wielder of Mysteries later, Street Wraith is the best pile opener as it doesn't require sacrificing a land. I built my pile in the order of Island Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, Thassa's Oracle, Street Wraith, Street Wraith. I'll use my pile opener to start drawing into the pile. I'll win with Thassa's Oracle. Before sideboarding, I'd like to review the list we used. First, the conclusion. I will explain it step by step. Here's the actual sideboarding I used during the game. The difference is in the Street Wraith slots. In the Sneak Show matchup, there isn't much life total interaction, so Street Wraith is a higher value cycler compared to Edge of Autumn. Therefore, this sideboard plan would have been the better choice. Now, let's get into the main topic. These are the key cards in Sneak Show that impact the Doomsday matchup. First, let's talk about Pyroblast. Since it can counter Thassa's Oracle, I may need to pair it with Cavern of Souls depending on the situation. I'll reduce or completely cut Personal Tutor and Consider, as they become targets for Pyroblast. Next, let's talk about Blood Moon and Magus of the Moon. I'll include an island to counter these effects. In exchange, I'll cut some dual lands to balance the mana base. Next, let's talk about counterspells like Force of Will, Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm, Force of Negation, and Consign to Memory. I'll bring in disruption spells like Flusterstorm and Duress to deal with these. For better balance, I'll cut Lotus Petal, Cabal Ritual, and Edge of Autumn, as they are lower impact in this matchup. Next, regarding Consign to Memory, it can counter Thassa's Oracle's triggered ability. Since Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, wins through an activated ability, it can bypass Consign to Memory. Depending on the game state, choosing between them accordingly can be effective. I'll keep this hand since I can disrupt my opponent's early plays with discard and then use draw spells to find what I need. It's also good that I can play around Blood Moon. Since my opponent started with an island instead of a dual land, I'll play around Blood Moon just in case. I'll dig for disruption. I didn't find anything, so I'll shuffle. I'll cast Duress off Swamp since I want to use Brainstorm next turn to adjust my hand. I took out Pyroblast. The Surveil effect sends it to the graveyard. I'll play around Spell Pierce just in case. I'll dig for mana acceleration. I stacked the deck in the order of Surveil, Land, Thoughtseize. The surveil effect sends it to the graveyard. I'll dig for black mana. I stacked the deck in the order of Edge of Autumn Doomsday. I'm going all in. From here. Since my opponent had consigned to memory, I'll use Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, to bypass it. Since I have 2 copies of Force of Will in hand, I'll put Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, as the 3rd card in my pile and force my way to victory. As a backup, I'll also include the Cavern of Souls and Thassa's Oracle package in my pile. I build my pile in the order of Thassa's Oracle, Cavern of Souls, Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, Edge of Autumn, Edge of Autumn. After casting Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, I'll have extra lands, so life loss shouldn't matter, but I chose Edge of Autumn as my cycler just in case. I was planning to go off next turn, but my opponent's hand seems to be getting stronger, so I'll use Duress to check and then pass the turn. I took out Blood Moon. I'll use my pile opener to draw into the pile. I suspect they are holding up Consigned to Memory. I'll win with Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Lastly, I have an announcement. I'm posting the concepts behind the images used in my videos, as well as small flavor-inspired stories, in the YouTube community section. Additionally, I'm selling merch for the channel through the link in the description. If you're interested, be sure to check it out. Thank you for watching up to this point. I apologize for the many play mistakes. I hope to improve at MTG together with everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a thumbs up. See you next time. This is Antya.